Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. 2008 Chevy. This one here has got the 4.3 liter V6 in it. The code or customer complaint, so the customer was driving the truck. He was actually out of town driving the truck, and it started stumbling. Flashing check engine light. He had the truck actually towed over here to the shop, and I can confirm it can hardly be driven. And I pulled a code on it. Code is P0651. I don't want to say the exact description. It's been a couple of days since I've actually done it. It pertains to the number 2 5-volt reference circuit. I'm assuming, quote unquote, I am assuming. So we're going to go low tech to high tech if necessary. What it amounts to is the 5-volt reference circuit is pulled down. I got to give you a little bit of history. The throttle body on here, drive-by wire, it was replaced about 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. And so was the accelerator pedal position sensor, which is essentially a gas pedal. That was also replaced. This guy here, he blasted parts cannon at it, and I think I made a video about this one. I'm not 100% for sure right off the top of my head. I did replace the computer in here, the engine computer. Didn't replace it, so it was kind of hard to find it the last time. It only lost the 5-volt reference for like no time at all. I finally barely caught it on the scope, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to dive right in there. Like I said, this one here had a computer replaced in it. I did source that computer from a junkyard and went ahead and programmed it. So I'm keeping all that in the back of the mind, bring you all along real quick. We're going to do some checking. The crankshaft position sensor, the throttle body, the controls, and our pedal inside. Those are the 3 things that actually use the 5-volt reference number 2. I will probably add the wiring diagram into the video once I'm editing. So let's go ahead and get started. Visual inspection first. Just to see what we can see. We may not be seeing anything. The customer did replace the accelerator pedal, and he replaced the throttle body on here. So the customer did that himself. So I'm definitely going to check the wires. I've done already pulled us a wiring diagram. Just look at this. You look at the harness, I guess, and see if we got any kind of rub marks. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for just a minute. I want to rack the truck real quick and get it up in the air. I do have my suspicions on the crank sensor, so I want to check that because it had some wires down there that are not inside a wire loom anymore. I'm gonna have a quick look at that and see what's going on there, and we'll continue from there. Like I said, I wanted to give this a quick look-see and make sure that there's no rub marks anywhere. And I didn't see any rub marks. This is we can replicate the problem. I think, like I said, when I pulled it in the shop, it was going crazy. So we can replicate the problem. I guess I could start it up. We'll have a listen real quick and go from there. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Didn't take it very long. Go ahead and shut her off, turn it back on. One can only assume that the 5-volt reference is still down. It doesn't clear up. The last time, key off, key back on, it would clear up. This time, that is not the case. So looking at I'm going to need to look at the wiring diagram and see what wire over there has carries a 5 volts. And we'll go ahead and hook up to it and see what we can see. I went ahead and raised the truck up. It was easier to pick it up from under it. It got actually a little bit better than what it was just a second ago. Our 5 volt is dropping down. It was going down to like 2 volts earlier. So it's definitely being pulled down. Now, okay, sorry about that, got interrupted. One other low-tech approach, we could check the crank sensor while we're down here. I should have done that already, but like I said, I've got sidetracked there, so I'm going to simply unplug it, and it should go into a default strategy. Okay, this is with our crankshaft position sensor unplugged. I don't want to really run the truck this way too long. I don't like it. Basically showing us the same thing. So something else going on. I'm gonna go ahead and pause you out, bring it down, turn it off. I don't like this. Now I want to be clear about one thing. I want to be 100% clear about it. I did say that the accelerator pedal there has been replaced. However, only because it's new, that does not mean it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look on my wiring diagram. I will add that diagram later on into the video. This is hard going to be for you to see it. Okay, I'll just show you this wiring diagram. This is engine control module. As we can see here, going from the top down. Go through all the pins right here, or the pin outs, whatever you want to call that. Low reference. Okay, here's our first 5 volt ref 2, white and black. Let's highlight that up. And this one here is accelerator pedal position sensor. And there's no more. These are all reference ones. So we'll head on over. To the other side. Again, we'll start looking here. There's only 3 of them. I've already checked, so I already know. I'm not going to go up and down just to prove to you. Take my word for it. There's a gray wire right here. It continues over here, 24. And there's another one. This one here is purple and white. As you can see on this one here, crankshaft position sensor. That's where one of the ref 2s is going, or the 5-volt ref 2 I should say. And the other one here, the gray one, is going to the throttle body. So there you have it. Those are the only 5-volt ref 2 circuits. That is it. There is nothing else that goes in it. So that's basically what we're working with. So the accelerator pedal position sensor, which I done told you that is the whole gas pedal. We're looking for a white and black. See if we can find us a decent ground. Where are my tools? Okay, so I'm going to cut in here real quick. Want to add something in there. Some of you may have already caught on. I did mention that the computer was replaced because of a 5-volt reference. Well, I will tell you this. What it was is I finally found that on the scope. The 5-volt reference was not being pulled down. It just completely disappeared. So I wanted to be clear. So, because I know how that goes in the comments, you know, somebody will catch on to it and say, well, oh, you replaced that computer last time and it probably wasn't even bad. The computer was 100% bad, 100% confirmed bad. This truck's been running for several months and hasn't had any problems, but I did make a mistake. I unplugged the crankshaft position sensor prematurely. I shouldn't have done that, so I wanted to add that part in there real quick. Bring you up in here. This is the white and the black wire right there. I know you can see that. Got me a ground. There's a meter. So as we can see, key on, engine off. I got my 5 volts here. So we're going to move on to the next place. I had it in my mind, truth to be known, that the crankshaft position sensor was pulling it down, but wishful thinking on my part again, because it's never easy in this shop. Throttle body over here. Check some wires. Yeah. I like it and I hate it at the same time. These meters that have the automatic off function. This one here I think can be turned off. I ain't gonna do that because I'm the world's worst person about not turning the meter off. Alright, what did I say? That's a gray wire. Make sure there ain't no more grays in there. Yellow, brown, tan, gray, dark green, and purple. So there should be but one gray wire in there. And would you know it, there's a gray wire in there. That's a steady 5 volts as well. Be very, very careful what I do next. Got my leads hanging in the fan belt, or not fan belt, but the serpentine belt, I should say. Go ahead and plug the crank sensor back in. Talking about these wires, there's your sensor. All that is exposed. I was looking for bald spots in there, but was unable to find anything bald in there. So well, that's basically going back to square one, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some taping. Okay, real quick, cut in there one more time. Long story short, you've seen that last little clip that I played for you. The entire engine looks like that. The entire engine looks like that. The wire looms on this vehicle are completely disintegrated. The wires are, you can't tell what they are in most places because they're covered with oil and antifreeze. It's crazy. Like I said, long story short, the customer did leave out information. The information that he left out was the fact that he's had a little bit of a miss like that once before. And he went outside, popped the hood, apparently pulled on the wire for whatever reason, and that fixed his problem. So I did advise him that I did think that there must be a rub mark in the 5-volt reference somewhere. And he decided he wanted to go ahead and fix all the wire loom. And I told him I was not interested in doing that. And the reason being is you cannot see the friggin' wires. This thing is so covered in oil. I mean, from the valve covers down, it is hard to do anything on there. You cannot tape anything to the existing wire loom because when you touch it, it breaks. It's like it was majorly hot at one point in time, but here again, it's irrelevant. We talked about it for a little while, and the customer then decided, he asked me about how much it was to do that. I told him, I said, the only way that I'm interested in doing it is by pulling the engine out. Pull the engine out, clean everything up, wipe everything off, and then redo it where I can see what I'm doing. And so I have actually places that I can tape and go with, and we'll have something substantial when I get done. So long story short, again, the customer actually decided that he didn't want to just do that. He wanted to go ahead, and if I got to pull the engine, or if I wanted to pull the engine, he wanted me to go ahead and reseal the whole entire thing. He decides that it is cheaper than buying a new truck or a different truck, whatever. And that's why we are going to, why I did what I did with that last little clip. There is going to be a part 2. I'm going to bring you along. So for now, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Know where to put them. Until the next time.